found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
If you live in low-lying areas, be aware of the possibility of tsunamis immediately after an earthquake. A strong earthquake lasting 20 seconds or more is a natural tsunami warning. Do not wait for an official warning. Gather your family members and evacuate immediately after the shaking stops. Don't delay. A tsunami could occur within minutes.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm.
Station so hot, it's cool.
You don't know you're listening to 98.9.
98.9 Win FM. Radio never sounded like this.
Radio never sounded like this, sounded like this.
98.9 Win FM.
Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Let's Get Real on WinFM. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers all. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM. Pleasant good evening. I am Lavi Gumbs, and it's just a pleasure to be back here on WinFM with the Real Talk with Lavi. It's been a while. Last week I was out sick. I had the flu or cold. Cold or COVID or whatever it is, but to me it's like a COVID symptoms. And I do suffer from allergies, so sometimes I don't even know when it's allergy from when it's actually maybe a virus I'm getting. But I struggled with it for a good 3 days. Oh my goodness. It came with like a headache and your body ache. It was really, really, really bad. But yeah, I survived it. And so between like 3 to 5 days, I was definitely, I was out. So last week I was recovering, and now I feel 100%. And, you know, a few of my friends, they're messaging me and say, Lavi, I'm out, I'm down with the flu, it's terrible, I'm feeling really bad. And one of my advice to them is just hydrate. Gotta hydrate. I'm gonna say hydrate, 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 hydrate. Gotta drink a lot of H2O, a lot of water. For me, what works for me was a lot of hot tea, believe it, any kind of bush tea, whether lemongrass, soursop, whatever, papaya, guava, whatever kind of bush that you know can work, sage, mint, but a lot of hot water, even with lemon and orange juice, the natural orange juice, just squeeze the orange juice, the lime, that vitamin C. You got to drill yourself with some vitamin C 1000 and just keep that vitamin C to build your immune, and some good old soup, chicken soup. That works for me. And I also did a lot of cold showers. Yeah, the cold showers work for me. Um, like almost every minute I just hit the shower. I just had to just shower, change your sheets, change your pillowcases. What else? Make sure the room is clean. Yeah, and and I also your bath towel, anything, your toothbrush, change them, people. Just change them. So anyone that is out there right now under the weather, hey, I wish you a speedy recovery because I have been down with the flu. And actually, it was week before Wednesday when I was on the air. I just wasn't feeling too right. I just didn't know what it was. But between that time and I would say Thursday evening was bad. Thursday, Friday, on the weekend. Yeah, it was really, really bad. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm feeling 100%. I'm feeling much better. And I have some good news to share. I'm now learning that WinFM is island-wide. So if you was wondering what was happening, I met a few people in town today that stopped me and said, Lavi, what's going on with WinFM? And I was like, what you talking about? Man, I'd like to, listen to WinFM. I just wasn't hearing WinFM. So I had to tell them, well, when last did you listen to WinFM? And they said it was probably like over 3 weeks to a month. So I just want to let them know that. I said, hey, listen tonight. But tonight we're going to have an open discussion. And I am not going to limit anyone with whatever discussion you want to speak about. I just want to let you guys to be clean about it and to be factual. Make sure that whatever you're calling in and saying it's not nothing to that is going to be liable to yourself, to Real Talk with Lavi, or to the station. Make sure that you're bringing hardcore facts on the Real Talk with Lavi. I got to say good night to Jam Down. I was in town today. I was doing quite a few rounds. I went to pay some bills. I went to good old Flo. And when I went to Flo, I basically went to take care of certain things. So, I get to knock out that. And I also went over to Inland Revenue because, this is September month. People, if you have a business, make sure that you're up to time and make sure that you're going out and pay your taxes. Make sure if you're going to file zero, file it because it can cost you. So every quarter, so this is September, and if you haven't gone, don't let September run out on you. Go to Inland Revenue if you don't know how to do it because they are online now, so you could actually do it online. But I just got to let you guys know, please go down and file your taxes. And, the same way you can keep up your political talk, you go file all your taxes. Make sure something are current. And I just want to let you guys know that this is very important to make sure that you're up to time and don't want to really be spending your time minding other people's business, but you just want to make sure that your situation is sorted out. Tonight, I got to say good evening to Radio Land, the folks over there, the entire St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to you. I am well. I am happy. Everyone is seeing Lavi. Listen, when you want to know how important you are as a human being to yourself and maybe to others, despite all the negative and whatever you're hearing, take some time out. Go on out. Go down the street, go down 4th Street, go back out in the communities, and you'll be surprised to see how many people so happy to see you and basically wishing you well and tell you how much you're missed. We just don't want to get caught up just in this social media world and forget that there's a real life world right here, wherever you are. I got to say a pleasant good evening to the diaspora, people over there that are living in the diaspora in New York, in Miami, in Atlanta, in the entire United States, those over there in Canada, big up yourself, not forgetting the UK, Africa, and South Africa also, big up yourself. People, wherever you are, and you have that SKN flag, extra special good evening to you. Once again, I am Lavi Gumbs, and I am from the island of St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, and I'm here to present Real Talk with Lavi. Real Talk is a program that came up not just for myself, but from the people. The people want to hear talks that is neutral, people that are outside of the box, people not are just coming with their own political agenda. Yeah, but people that are basically bringing the truth and caring for our people here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and also for persons, as they say, the voices for the voiceless. Yeah, so I want to share something with you guys with what happened today. So today, as I said, I was around town, and the amount of people meeting me. Lavi, girl, let's see a video with you. Girl, Lavi, you went down bad. Girl, don't let them upset you. And I just got to let people know that, yes, sometimes we do come out of our character. And I am basically about a good life. I am about the positivity. And I'm not perfect, right? And we do sometimes because of situation, sometimes because of frustration, sometimes because of poverty, people going through all kind of things. And I just want to let people know that if you did saw a video with me, it was nothing to do with any pointing fingers. I just basically maybe got a little emotional, and because of what has been happening here in St. Kitts over the years, where people basically feel that they can just go out and talk bad about people to stain the good people of St. Kitts, you know. And sometimes you get fed up. So if you see a video circulating, you start talking my truth, out of character a little bit. But I still mean, well, don't give up on Lavi, because Lavi ain't give up on St. Kitts and Nevis. Lavi ain't giving up on my indigenous people and the voices for the voiceless. But today I went to Bastille. I met Jam Down. So I'm going to play a little conversation that we had. And I also want to share something with this other man. He basically was talking about Port Zante. He think that Port Zante, hear this people, he think that Port Zante should have named Simmons Port. But I think Dr. Kennedy already have the Dr. Kennedy Simmons Highway. And unfortunately, what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis, it is sad that every time we are hearing a name, we the people are getting comfortable to think that we can only have the naming of something significant by political leaders. In the meantime, persons, if you're out there hearing my voice and you want to call in, feel free to call in. As I said, we're back up running, so I know you're out there in Radio Land, wherever you are. I just want to say a pleasant good evening to you. And yeah, so I'm going to share this little conversation so we could just get the show going, okay?
About Simmons, I don't know what he did. He opened up this country to the world, to tourism. Now, a couple of weeks ago, it had rough seas in St. Martin, but the wonders of the seas was on its way to St. Martin. And it encountered a problem with the seas. So the only port close by was St. Kitts. And
again, I have to tell you, yes, the only port was St. Kitts, but there were some updates from since when Mr. Simmons was in. We have to be clear about that jump stuff. Yeah, we have to be clear about it. Nothing wrong with what you're saying.
No.
And again, what I'm going to say also, right? In order to educate the people with Mr. Simmons, right, and what he has done, that basically will be a duty for the People's Action Movement as well. Because with all that we want to say, we should not expect the present government who is not
but
there.
that is why I'm talking about what Mr. Simmons did, because if you ask a lot of people in St. Kitts about the things that Simmons did, a lot of young people don't know.
And who is responsible? Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for this?
For the opposition, which is the PAM party. They don't even they don't even know about these things, because they are not putting themselves out
So
there
Mr.
to
Bell,
know.
responsible for this? It's not the Labour government?
No.
Okay, so who's responsible to get the information out? Well, you need to say that.
So I said it. But you see, if you give me a chance, I will let you know.
Well, because this is only a video and it's not a matter of giving you a chance. You have to get to the point to do the video.
I will like the leaders
And
of
do it
camp
quick, yes.
to come out and tell the people about the things that Simmons did to this country.
Why Simmons cannot
Because-
come out and tell the people what they did to?
Well, Simmons resigned and he's an old
Yeah,
man.
but
and
he
they're gonna put now-
resigned, but his mouth is still strong because he resigned and he was the one that come out and actively in the politics and tell the people who to vote for and who not to vote for. Okay.
I agree with you in a point. I agree with you. I agree with you to a point. But, you know, when you think about the things that he did to this country, a lot of people don't know. Like, let's think about the Peninsula Road.
But I know because I was around at that time.
You're in journalism, so you will might know
It's
that.
nothing about journalism. I live in St. Kitts and I keep informed. But I am just saying, when these things coming out, right, I personally think is the political party supposed to push and let the people know
No,
what
yes,
they
I
are
agree
and
with you.
what
I
they
agree with you
do.
100%. 100% I agree with you. Because these things put, I mean, you tell me call it put Zante, but I insist it's put Simmons. That's why that's the way the Peninsula Road, the refilling at the airport. When we didn't have any sort of refilling,
Okay, right.
he's
So
the one that
he's the one that did all of that and come forward, right? I'm just saying this in general. So no other political party or leader has done anything in St. Kitts like Dr. Simmons. That's what you're saying?
Yes, he was exceptional.
So no one else was exceptional.
Not as far as I see for the past.
I mean, come
They do
on.
things, they
Come
do
on.
things.
But who did the port? Who have the port where it is right now? Yeah.
Simmons is who reclaimed the land. And Douglas get the Indians in, but he make a mess out of it. Denzel should have used with CBI money and build all these buildings. That is why he will not get the props if he did do these things. But then boy were playing politics.
No.
I have to end the live shortly, so I think I get
Now
your
we will
point,
do it again, you know.
and we will have to
But
continue.
quickly before you go ask him what he think about the land issues in the country is a big topic.
Well, to be truthful, I don't have
Much
much information about it.
No, here, that man.
I heard about
But you
it.
think land should be selling like that? How they want to sell the land and take land from poor people and make gated communities?
No, but like I
I
said,
think the people should be informed.
right, Mr. Dale, it was Dale, right?
No, Val.
Val, Mr. Val, it was a pleasure talking to you, but we're going to have to get some more time so we could go in more depth.
Yes.
I can see that you're really passionate about this thing, and you have a right.
Yes.
Right, and you have a right to basically see the good in who you see. You know, you're speaking about Dr. Simmons.
Yeah.
But for Lavi Gumbs of the Real Talk, I cannot be here basically just, you say your opinion, you say what you think you want to have done. And I feel like this is the issue here in St. Kitts and Nevis, where everybody is holding on to who did this and who did not do this. So maybe it's about time the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, the children, the generation, should really know more about the leaders in this country, what they have done and what they did not do and what they should have done. And then maybe they can form the opinion and get a better understanding and knowledge of who really are doing, when they become leaders, who are really doing the leadership role. And this is how I'm doing it today.
But between me and you, we have a serious issue where we ain't seems to be touching us yet, you know.
Exactly.
We have a thing named Christino, a ferry boat run here. We had a man named Punten and Frank Tyson.
Yes.
Work loyally and nobody recognizes it.
And like I said, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue with this because one second, because I'm speaking. Yeah, I don't like to interrupt. But when I do the live, because it's gonna sound bad with all three of us speaking, right? But as the mediator, I have a right to jump in, right to steer the conversation. I'm not here to take over
Don't do
because...
it again.
Right. But all I'm simply saying is that, just like what he's saying, it is sad that all the political leaders, they go in and it's all about them. And as you said, these things that really needs to be out there aware of, the people don't know because they spend time going back and forth with who is in there. And as he mentioned, Putin and other names that we should be hearing about, even people like Elimat and stuff. Because you hear about the FD highway. Who the hell is the FD? Who is he?
He used to be a woman, but sure.
All right, but this is how we...
Things we can talk about. But one thing I would like to say, that manners seems to forget the pier that come down. That pier, that the first pier that was built with Port Simon, couldn't take any ship. Because it couldn't take any ship.
Right, but
the sea want to take it down.
and that is what I'm just going to
So
tell
that
you.
is why
Right, but
is it Port Town?
correct.
We hear about Port Simon.
Right, and
Couldn't
this,
take anything.
at the end of the day, right, whoever went in, it has maintenance, right? And this is the problem. Political leaders should not even be taking, what do you call it, want to take credit for everything because there's something called... And that is what they're all doing. Because you did say that he built it, yes, but you'll have had hurricane, you'll have a number of different kind of things. So we need to just, as you said, not meaning you, but we need to basically appreciate people for what they do and also vote out the leaders who are not doing a good job. When they get them in and they're doing a good job, just vote them out. And this is how I'm going to end it. We'll talk with that. Bye.
In general,
All right, so guys, you just hear, this is Lavi on the street of St. Kitts and Nevis. This is nothing that was made up. These are people that are coming forward and basically want to share what is happening here in St. Kitts. They want to share their opinion and their views and everything. Okay, so today I was speaking to a man, you know, and he was passionate and talking about he feel that the port should have been named after Dr. Kennedy Simmons. You know, let me turn this down here, trying to get this thing back on. Right, so this is what we are facing right now. This is what he feel, that the Dr. Kennedy Simmons Port Zante should have named after him. Anyway, everybody have their own views and everybody want, you know, it's so funny, right? Everybody want something to name after them, and there's only so much that it can be named, and most of the people that they're talking about that want these things to be named after them is political leaders, right? I personally have my own opinion. I feel, how much things can be named after one man? Dr. Kennedy Simmons was named, he's actually the hero, and he got that title during the Unity Party. That is something very highly significant, and people are just calling in and saying, well, they're meeting Lavi and telling Lavi what they think and what they feel. But it is sad that we are here settling just for everything naming in St. Kitts has to be a political leader. Something definitely has to be wrong with that. And this is just my opinion. I think that is not right. Let me see what this person is saying. Yeah, so if we're going to settle in St. Kitts that every time we have the naming of anything in our federation has to be a political leader, then something is wrong. Because we have a lot of people in every community who have done hard. You know, matter of fact, I've never heard anything in my country named after these people that go around and clean the road, whether rain, hot sun, no matter what time. This guy in Monkey Hill in particular, a guy by the name of Henry, right? Henry will go out, and let me tell you this here, when I say Henry go out, Henry is the one that cleans the road up in St. Peter's. And Henry and Sandra, and I'm sure it have other people, those people that maintain the roads, right? You don't hear nobody out there saying, well, why they don't name something after them. So why are we getting so comfortable for everything naming has to be somebody that gone into politics? We got to rise above that, right? And until we get that kind of mindset where we are basically only holding on. All right, I guess we have a phone call. A pleasant good evening. You're on We'll Talk with Lovely Lavi. A pleasant good night. Hello.
Hello, Lavi. Good night.
Good night. Good night. How are you?
I'm fine, Lavi. We touched down at Port Zante today, and it was so great. I think the live we execute a lot of things. A lot of people love it, and they're asking for us to bring it back again, and we will, because who feels it knows it. Now, Lavi, tonight I wanna say that you is so right. Why is it got to be politicians to be national hero and honor them? And you ain't honoring the people who should be honoring. No, Puntin, he served so gratefully and skillfully. And the Christina from since in the early 60s. He was the captain of Christina. He lost his life from Christina. And I think that Port Zante should name after Port Punten, a Newtown man, and you should got a monument down there with Kennedy Simmons and Kim Collins. You know why I bring Kim Collins? Every cruise ship dock down there, some tourists come up to this Rastaman. Is this Kim Collins' country? I say, yes, ma'am. And that's the village he from over there.
And jam down. And it's a shame that we don't even have anything down there of a monument with Kim Collins.
Exactly. But we just can't do just Kim alone. Now you have another fellow. So with
Hello?
that is true. That is true. But Lavi, he have another fellow walk alongside. He was the mate, the chief mate to Punten and Christina. And nobody does recognize him. Frank Tyson. After Punten, he was a survivor and Christina. He was the first guy as a pilot to dock the first ship over at up by the dock. Book a Crusader. And nobody does recognize him. Frank Tyson, he has shown well. And I feel, and when Timothy go back there, that them two men got to get recognized in this country. If Watley is not gonna do it, because he fooled us last year saying he's gonna honor El Camino Willet, and he refused to honor El Camino Willet, this is another independent celebration coming up on us. Lavi, we're not going to work with them things.
Right, but...
And he's right.
Right,
and... We have to come back. And you have to come around town because you're not going to run.
Right.
As long as things ain't going right, they're going to get electrocuted.
And...
We're coming at them real hard. And this land issue ain't going to done deal. Have a good night, Lavern. I will be listening. You sound so nice. I feel so nice walking around town, and the whole of the country want to know who do the live. I said, Lavi, she just don't touch down and go along rock. She touch and put Zante too. Have a good night, Lavern. We love you.
Good night. Love you too. I just want to let people know, as I said, that I went around today and people always look like they're just happy. This is nothing with any political motive. I am just a Kittian, just like anybody else, and I ain't just born yesterday. I've been in this game for quite a while, and a lot of people are hurting, and a lot of people are misinformed. But I would let the public know right now, with Real Talk with Lavi, nobody could mess up my head. Nobody can feel like they can tell me what to say, because a number of people come to me and, oh, Lavi said this and said that. I am not going to be here carrying on nothing for anybody. If you want to be a part of the show, it must be something that can relate to everybody, right? So if you have your own political motive, Real Talk is not for you. We're here to bring the real issues, what is happening in our country. And for me, I basically, I play the tape tonight, the video with a native of St. Kitts, with he feeling, he gave his reason why he think that the poet should have named Kennedy Simmons. However, as I said, that's his opinion. But too often we are getting too comfortable thinking that any naming in this country must be a politician. So it's either going to be a politician from the Labour administration, somebody from the NRP, the CCM, the People's Action Movement, and now you also having the PLP. We need to done away with this kind of thing, that if somebody come prime minister, we feel that we have to put them and they must have a name. Now, there's a hot topic with the Sadler's Primary School and the renaming of the Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. And people feel that he should not have his name being named on the school. Now, this is what persons came to Lavi, and I was made aware that people think that you have to be a teacher or someone in education. I'm going to stick a pin with this. So we have another call on the line. A pleasant good evening, good night.
Yeah, good evening to you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Burl. But just before you start, I just want to finish this conversation before it get out of hand, right? Now, the renaming of the school over there in at Sadler's, what persons and many people don't know that Dr. Denzel Douglas was a teacher and he did teach in the school. But this is what is missing in St. Kitts, where a lot of our people are not informed of what these people are, who are they and what they would have done before they became even political leaders. And I think that this is missing, that when they become political leaders, they just go after one another. So it's just about the opposition and the government. And a lot of things are missing because the children of our generation, our future, a lot of them are being misinformed. So there you go, Mr. Burl. I just wanted to get that out before I forget it,
Yeah, well, a pleasant good evening to you and the listeners.
Mm-hmm. How can I help you tonight? What is your concern tonight?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to jump right into it. The issues that's plaguing the Federation right now. The biggest issue on the table right now is the land grab over on the southeastern side of Nevis. But before I go there, seeing that we're talking about that school renamed after Denzel Douglas, well, congratulations to him. But my conversation tonight and on these airwaves is not about discrediting anyone. It's about crediting persons who have made contributions in the society, and also to push St. Kitts and Nevis forward to prosperity and advancement and all that good stuff. I want to see the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis progress and advance into the next century for the next generation to come. With that said, we are all on here every day complaining, and it's all good that we're complaining, but we should really stick with the positive critique and not to be complaining to pull down or drag down anyone.
Absolutely.
And me of a certain age, actually, let me make a step back. Let me just announce who I am. My name is Burl Jones, and I'm from the village of Cotton Ground over there in Nevis. My mother is Gwendolyn Jones, who is a sergeant side of the family, and my pops is Wilmot Jones, who was born in Dominican Republic, migrated back into Nevis with his father.
Well, no disrespect, right? But because of the timing, just stick on the issues, if you don't mind, please. You already say your Burl Jones and everything, so
sure, thanks.
Yeah, just stick on so we could, wrap it up, because we only have a limited time, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
So what you really want to speak about tonight?
Okay, the big issue is the land grab over there in Nevis, and the stuff that I'm hearing coming out of Nevis, me personally, I'm disappointed to hear what I'm hearing, what's in the news and what's in the streets.
So what are you
It
hearing?
all it's all started with that sustainability, the special sustainability zone authorization bill 2025 that was passed a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was back in August 11th, but after that bill was passed, a lot of people start taking to the airwaves because some persons, as the information is coming out, the transparency I think is not really there. And there's a lot of speculation, yes, but there's a lot of clips circulating on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and information is coming out sporadically. But I believe the information should have been coming out from our leaders per se, especially on the Nevis side, the premier. He seems to be the one that's pushing this development. It's a proposed enclave that they want to put there on the south side, southeastern side of Nevis. On that side of Nevis, the lands are barren and it's like untouched.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hearing that, when this development comes, certain things are going to be off limits to the local people. But the biggest part of the issue here is the lands over there are actually in the local people's hands. Some 200 and something, well over 200 landowners that I think the premier stated that last night on the Let's Start program in Van Radio, or somewhere he mentioned that. And as we go forward, it seems like the millionaire or billionaire that's making this proposal to come in and set up this enclave, is stated in these clips that some 1/6 of Nevis is what they're targeting, 6 square miles. That's a lot of land. But what I really can't understand from the get go, right? Whatever proposal is made by this foreigner, and they're trying to go into business or they're trying to make this development happen, the lands that's over there is not owned by the government. So I'm thinking to myself, the government, maybe they should have just shut this stuff down. If you're coming to me and you're asking me something that I don't have, you know, I don't think it's a good idea for me to force the issue, like to force it. Because if I don't have something, our parents told us to do without. So the
Oh,
lands that's there, they're owned by private people. And then, so therefore, if this developer really want those lands, they will have to approach the landowners directly. And that's what I heard the premier said last night. But, a lot of people, they're dissatisfied. Maybe some people are misinformed. I don't know. I mean,
um,
I'm
um,
not, I,
Well, can I say this?
yeah,
What I find with our local people too, um, we seem to have the answers when it comes to foreigners getting things in our country, but a lot of our locals don't invest back into their country. There's a lot of locals that gone away, diaspora, that said that they will never go back to St. Kitts. Many people curse me out and say, girl, we're going back St. Kitts for, well, girl, you're going to go back down there. The way how they speak to me, they literally say, well, girl, you're wasting your time, and this is where I'm from. So a lot of
yeah,
locals will say one thing, but a lot of locals will discourage you from coming back to your own country.
yeah, a lot of stuff is going on, man. There's so much stuff going on, man. Sometimes you don't even know where to start. And it's hard to sift through some of this stuff.
Right, but I also want to let you know about the naming of streets, schools, whatever it may be, museum, you know. It's unfortunate that almost everything that is being named in St. Kitts is either after a governor, a prime minister, a premier, what else, and stuff like that. We hardly seen even the educated people. Like for instance, like person that was in the educational department. I know, for instance, St. Peter's School, when they name it Dean Glassford Primary School, that lady was a headmistress up there for years and for decades. And you know what? She was not just a headmistress. That lady was a headmistress, and she also taught in kindergarten. She fit in any of the classes from kindergarten to grade 6. and she have done a lot for St. Peter's. And it is time that we start seeing persons who serve in our country. You can't give everyone, but even in the health department, persons, it could go down even to the janitor. I'm just drawing a reference, right? That why everything in this country, when somebody getting something significant, is either a lawyer or a doctor. So are we saying only those two professions matters in St. Kitts? You have persons that are even pastor and minister. They too have done greatness. You have person in the skill and craft industry. Those people do things. I feel it's time when they say fair share should not just stand from St. Kitts and Nevis with Mark Brantley saying fair share for Nevis. It's supposed to be fair share for every single person in this country who have served and who are paying their taxes, who have served St. Kitts and Nevis. It's time that we start seeing the ordinary man who work hard, and we stop sending out the wrong signal to our people in St. Kitts. You see that man over there in Africa? Everybody's talking about him because he bring in a different kind of politics and governance to Africa, right? And what we're seeing in the small country, everything is based on the prime minister, the premier. So once the prime minister out, once the premier is out, they talk bad about him. He no longer exists. So people don't even appreciate what they have done. The place is too angry. The place is basically raising a set of angry people and a set of entitlement world. And I know you're over correct. There, and I know you'll be listening. I listen to your calling on all the different radio stations. But what a lot of us are doing is just calling in, basically giving our opinion and perspectives, and we don't really get any solutions. I personally feel that anyone that served this country, whether we like it or not, they will have done something good. But we focus on all the negative, what they did not do. So anybody going to just come and tell me, Lavi Gumbs, who born in the late 60s, that only Dr. Kennedy Simmons did well in St. Kitts and Nevis, they can't fool me. But we should recognize the good that Dr. Kennedy Simmons did, but we're supposed to also recognize that there was a first premier, which was the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, and he will have done something good as well. We also had the Honorable Timothy Harris. We had the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. And now we have Dr. Terrence Jew. You mean to tell me that none of them do nothing good? But we're just focusing on all the bad that they've done. And it continues. So whether whoever leader is in, once they're gone, then you start to speak bad about them. The People's Action Movement is holding on to the Kennedy Simmons. Labor is holding on to the Papa Bradshaw and to the Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. And some of them basically with Dr. Jew because he's young. And this can hold on, as Jamster say, Timothy Harris. People are holding on to whatever good that these people would have done to them. So it shows that all of them did not do bad. So why are we focusing on just basically talking bad about these people? Because they are educated people as well. They ain't no dummy. Those people are economists, doctor of PhD or doctor of the medical or lawyers. Most of them, that's what they are. So why are we basically having so much disrespect, and why can't we get a level of respect from these people when they hold this high command, Mr. Burl?
Okay, so let me go. Let me first say there must be some good that this government is doing, which needs to be acknowledged. And I'm going to go after that Aspire program. And what I want to say to the Prime Minister is, yeah, he speaks highly of this Aspire program. But my recommendation to him is, why can't we get him or the persons in control of that program to attach this Aspire program to any one of these big projects that's coming to St. Kitts and Nevis, so that our kids can gain some real profits in them accounts in terms of the investment. We can attach the Aspire program to any of those projects coming, and also to any land acquisition, so that our youngsters, our kids, can own a piece of the rock from now. That's for that. Okay, we have 5 national heroes that are all politicians. I don't really necessarily agree with that. They have a lot of other areas of society that other persons have contributed. And I want to acknowledge we should maybe try to get past this and maybe break even the gender divide. Females need to be recognized as well for their, contribution.
Well,
We have a lot of
the whole point is, right, everybody wants recognition. I just feel that we need to be more in a position, a government that is productive with everyone that they put inside there. The people should show productivity. And when you're not showing productivity, basically, you're going to make people wonder, well, as I said, square pegs in round holes. And some people not going to like it. Let me tell you what is happening in this country right now. You can vote for Labour all your life, in particular the Labour Party. You can vote for Labour all your life, and if it's only one time you say something that you don't disagree with what they like, they discredit you. They go and they get fake page, ghost page, and these pages are representing the Labour Party, like it or not. Whether the Prime Minister knows about it, he doesn't know about it, you have persons that are in the Labour Party out there using the social media to discredit good people and people who actually vote for the same Labour.
That's crazy. That's dicey.
It is more than craziness. But you know the thing about it, Ball? You see, everybody ain't strong like Lavi. But there's a lot of mental health issues that is happening. And a lot of it is happening because everybody can, they can't take the pressure where everybody beating up on them. Everybody can take where talk of the town, Lavi, girl, they said this about you. And when you find out who said these things, somebody hiding behind a fake page called Renee Monkey Hill Bass, right? Sometimes people say, oh, don't talk about them, don't give them the acknowledgement. It's not a matter of giving these people the acknowledgement. We are letting the public know that in order to give these people strength is when you support them. And if you know that you're behind a fake page, a ghost page that is talking ill of the Prime Minister, the Governor, the Premier, whoever, right? Much less the ordinary man and woman in this country, it shows how damaged our people are here in St. Kitts. So which means you're happy to know that you're beating down upon our own. And when the foreigners coming in and buying the land, we're making noise because our priority is all involved in taking down our own people. While the foreigners coming in, the investors are coming in to invest in our country. And what is happening? Our locals end up working with them for ordinary basic jobs. Most of the jobs is just to clean, being janitors, being housekeeping. Those are the jobs that are vacant for our people. Even if you go into some of these spas, you don't see the local India holding down the jobs. Most of them just in there to serve tea and to clean up. In this 2025, you mean to tell me our dark-skinned people, our brown-skinned people in our country only good to just go and clean up after somebody else? You see any lighter-skinned person in anybody dark-skinned business in there sweeping and mopping? And I'm not knocking no jobs. But this is what we are settling for in St. Kitts and Nevis. And when people like Lavi Gumbs bring these topics to the forum to educate and share knowledge to our people, oh, who she think she be? Oh, she not nobody. And of course, because I'm a female, the good thing you could say, she bad, she this, she that. But how bad and this I can be when I'm making a difference in my country?
Yeah, well, we strive to, make the difference. And me personally, I've seen, yes, the people are damaged. We need a change in attitude and mentality. Underneath the Prime Minister, all those PSs need to be doing their job. And if I was the Prime Minister and they're not, if I see who are under me not working, I'll be terminating them straight up and replacing them.
Bill, before you leave, sorry, I don't want to cut your class, but before you leave, right, I just want to let you know this here. this is what's happening in our country all these years. But we get older and we understanding some of the dynamics in politics, especially in the Caribbean and in the smaller Caribbeans, where I personally feel that some persons, when they get in this position, they take advantage. Instead of rising and giving people opportunity, they take advantage and it all becomes all about them, right? So what is happening now? The political parties, you have something called canvassing and the campaigning team. It is sad that now I'm understanding what is happening when it comes to campaign team. It's basically picking up anybody in the neighborhood and they continue going and they form the organization. And you mean to tell me if you become prime minister of this country, you're going to just go and take these people and put them in positions when you know that they have not even done these jobs or have any experience in work ethic or even in the jobs that they're giving them. And they basically ignore and discredit people of experience and people who can make a difference and who really love the people, who love the country, and who basically are willing to help the people in the Federation, Burl. So we got to be careful that when we're seeing prime ministers and premiers and all these kind of things, it don't go just like basically putting people to be PS or whatever position. It's just handpick the people from the campaign team. So when you're voting whoever political party, if it's somebody who is a confusion, somebody that don't mean well for St. Kitts, it could be a mean person, those are the entire gang that we're bringing to form our government and be in our government. Because these are what they're telling us. Join a political party, and once this person come in, they come and they handpick the bodies. This is not good for the country. It is not good for the country,
definitely, this is not good for the country. This is like some favoritism and all that extra stuff. Once you qualify, no matter your age, you should be given a chance. But let me just say I agree with you, and let me add a little bit of personal flavor, right? And it's to do with the work ethics. And I don't want to really get too personal on here, but it's a part of my journey and my testimony.
Just stay on point. Stay on point. That's just stay on the issue. That's all I want.
What I want to say is that some of the youngsters appears like they do not want to work, and I'm having a personal issue with that. And now I can move forward and maybe go back to something else that you might want to mention. But in terms of the main topic, the lands on Nevis, I don't agree with the lands being moved away from the ownership of the locals to foreigners. That's what I really want to say, really.
You don't agree with what?
The lands on the Nevis southeast side. Mm-hmm. The ownership of the lands, whatever enclave is coming or proposed development, definitely the land's ownership is going to transfer from the locals to the foreigners. The rest of it, I don't have much to say about that because, I don't have all the information. I don't have all the facts and all the knowledge.
All right. Well,
persons over there, if they get desperate, they're going to sell out. And then once they sell out, they're never going to be able to get back ownership of that land.
All right.
And I'll leave it there for tonight. And I want to say thanks for hearing me.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time out to being a part of Real Talk and to share your contribution right here on this great program. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. So that's Mr. Good Old Burl. And, we get so comfortable saying the same old people calling in. But if you're going to say the same old people calling in, basically if they don't call in, well, who going to call in? Because a lot of people, they rather stay behind and they give their opinion and they don't want to come forward. People, listen, it's not easy, It's not easy when you're calling. And I remember over the years and after hearing when people call in, the next caller going to attack the other person. And it kind of discouraged people from wanting to call in to make a contribution in the Federation. Yeah, because once you put your face public, That's it. People, some going to like you, some not going to like you. But at the end of the day, if you keep silent, and then when the foreigner come in, we all start to make noise saying foreigners coming in. All right, so out of this, into this, it is 2 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. We're going to take it down to 9:30, can I? All right, so we're going to take it down to 9:30 or 9:15. All right, but I want to also mention this. If you're just in tune, this is Real Talk with Lavi. Yeah, you can find us on WinFM, SKN Media, on YouTube, and on Facebook, and on Instagram, and also in the Federation, the radio 98.9 FM. But what I want to let you guys know, if you're just in tune, we was basically having an open discussion, and you have persons that are calling in and hearing the views and sharing certain things that is happening in St. Kitts, right? And a number of persons are upset as to who they give certain names and who they're not giving. But at the end of the day, like I said, what I would like to see, Lavi Gumbs on the Real Talk, is naming of anything, whether roads, streets, schools. A lot of I mix up the thing. We can't give everything to political leaders. And as one might say about Dr. Denzel Douglas, but this man was in politics since he was very, very young. And I think he was probably one of the youngest prime minister. I stand corrected. But he served St. Kitts and Nevis very young and for a number of years. Whether you like it or not, this man served. I also heard persons in Sadlers and in the Date Bay, St. Paul's, all those communities, they said, Lavi, he gave back a lot to the communities. A lot of people don't know, but he gave a lot to the Sadlers community, the Date Bay community, all that community over there. He gave a lot to constituency number 6. He gave back to the people. And Kitty Sean love to go and beg. For instance, there's another political leader, an ex-political leader from the People's Action Movement. His name was Colin. I'm not going to call his name, but he was in the Minister of Tourism. His name is Colin, and people come up and say, Lavi, and this is not political, they said, this man ain't even running, but the people in constituency number 4 still going to him and asking him for things for the children. Say the children ain't got no money to buy things to put the children back to school. And he gone in his pocket and he continued doing these things. So I'm just saying this, right, that sometimes what we see ain't everything that we see behind the scenes. Ain't everybody that come out and talk and say what they do, right? So sometimes when we hear people name calling, we basically saying why we can't give this other persons. But I don't know how this name thing go here in the country. I don't know if people don't have to put up people name. So maybe this is something I'm going to investigate, that even when you have Women's Empowerment Day, when you have all these different, things that happening here in the country, it appears that people on the street, just like how you come on the radio, right into the government and give these names of person that you think you would like to get recognition. So maybe we can not make it just a political affairs, and we the people can actually write into the government, to whoever department, that these things need to go so we can give recognition to these people. Yeah, because there's a number of persons who have done well. Some of them done die, they done dead and gone. And there are also some people, they are retired and they're old, but they have served in this country. You don't hear nothing about them. Just today, somebody called me and they said, Lavi, do you have any number for Kim Collins? And I was like, not really, but I will try my best and get the number to you. So if anybody out there have any number for Kim Collins, if you're hearing my voice, I would love to get in contact with you. I have a message for you. Someone wants you attention. They want you basically urgent. And it's something that they want you to. It's a school that basically contact me. I don't want to give the school name out, but I want you to make a presentation. So it just shows that people are recognizing Kim Collins as well as the first national, the person that went out there, fastest runner in the entire world, that made and put St. Kitts on the map. And, people still remember him, So I just feel, like I said, that it's time that we go out in the hairdressing field. I know many people out there just talking about young people this and young people time, but it's everybody time once you're alive, no matter what age you are. People that are breathing, whether you're sick, you're still alive, it is everybody time. This is nothing just for no young people time, right? This is everybody time, because we need the young and the old to connect. And the more we get the right set of people in, people with knowledge, people with experience, and our good citizens that want to serve the country, I don't discredit them, because there's a number of persons in position, and some of them very lazy. Some of them don't even like the work. They just want to stay and collect a check, and they don't want to put in the work. So this is what we're basically doing here tonight, is an open discussion. Yeah, it is 8 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. We just have a few more minutes, and then we're going to close out the show. I want to also touch on the customer service here in this country. I want to touch on persons that are out there working in a lot of these large establishment in the country, whether it's phone, whether it's in the construction department, whether it's in the bank. I just want to touch on certain things where a lot of people that are in business, some of them are complaining and some of them are not complaining. But a lot of our local people need training. And some of them really probably don't know any better, but they need training. You go in a regular store, you go on 4th Street, and a lot of us are saying that it's just Indians them down there, but you have some local also working there with them. And you go down to some of these establishments and you go in, and a number of them, this is how they on the job. On the phone. So they leave their home to go on people job. People who paying the rent, the taxes, all the overheads, and still have to pay them. And as soon as they go in, this is how they be. They're on their phones. And even somebody come in as a customer, they don't see them. All they do, they're just on their phone. You have to literally approach them and they're still on their phone. Right? So they're not really producing, they're not really being productive. So there's a lot to be learned with our natives people. It's time that we have to improve on ourselves. We have to improve on customer service. We have to want to improve to be better. And instead of criticizing those other people that we call foreigners, we have to look at ourselves and look and see, why are we cannot hold on some of these jobs, and why are we so basic in certain positions in our country? A pleasant good evening to you. There's a phone call. Good night.
Good night, Lavi. Again, I had to call back because you were saying certain things here concerning our leaders.
Yes.
All our leaders serve. But the kind of thing they have done, they're leaving out the poor people and looking after people who shouldn't get looked after before you straighten the poor people. You know, Town, Newtown, St. Paul's Ghetto, Taba Ghetto, Newton Ground Ghetto. You have to look after the poor people. How
Absolutely.
Politicians feel taking up the penny bank money and giving white people? How they feel? Watch them fought for this land. They fight. Man dead for it. The court burned down. In a lot of them documents over the Southeast Peninsula, they're challenging these things to defend who had land over there. But man just acquiring poor people and ain't paying them. And we want to give it to white people. It's not going to work, you know. Because that is a war within itself. It's not now. Later on. Some politicians, they fail us big time. You see the peer down there? From since I see the way how Timothy structured that and use Social Security money and National Bank and TDC and get the peer bill. One of the most biggest cruise ships that deal. And he only could go Barbados and Puerto Rico. And he come right here in Bastille. They're coming right here in Bastille. The guy had vision and men against Timothy, you know. When my pretty flowers and board box from my way, I stop talking about these. But these is the kind of leaders we want to carry this country. You can imagine Sim Daniel buying land from the plantocracy, Lavi, in Nevis. For expensing from the landowners them over there, you know. And make sure he give it to poor people cheap. So that the ghetto people in Nevis could own land. And look where vagabond man they come in doing the people in. Going, putting his wife to call the people and asking them if they want to sell the land. To go give back to white people. It's terrible. It's dangerous. And it's a toxic move they're putting on us, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Lavi, good night again.
Jamdong, just before you...
I want to ask you, people are listening to your show.
Thank you.
Because Jamdong bring it to the people.
Thank you. Jamdong.
Jamdong bring it to the people.
Jamdong, before
and
you go...
radio, your listenership has to go. That's why we have to do this again. Because we have to hold them accountable. Have a good night again, Lavi.
Good night.
We love you, love you, love you.
Love you too, Jamdong.
You're doing well.
Thank you. All right, that's the sound of Jamdong. He has always been passionate, and he's no stranger. I mean, I remember way back from the 90s, 2000, Jamdong, and he knows a lot. And this is why I basically, commit myself to get the real talk with Lavi, because we should not be in St. Kitts and Nevis just because you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're not so-and-so son, you're not living in a particular place, and they're going to tell you you are nobody. Another thing with this whole classism that is happening here in our country, where from the time you become a prime minister, a governor, a premier, and I'm just calling this position a commissioner of police, a PS, or whatever, all of a sudden, you forget where you come from. Y'all don't go by the moms and pop shops to support them. And those will have been the same shops that you all grew up on and used to go and know. And then we're wondering why our people are suffering in our country like this, because we're not supporting our own. The majority of Jamaicans come here. Most of them don't come in nothing, but they find every Jamaican here and they support Jamaican. The Santo Domingan, the Spanish, or whatever you want to call them, the Latinos, they find the Latinos and they support the Latinos. Go up Irish Town, go across Newtown, you see all of them. Go up George Street, they take over. Go up McKnight. Asians support Asians. The Indians support Indians, but I will tell you this much. You see those Indians? A lot of people don't know, right? But behind the closed doors, they give back a lot to this country, even the Asians. But the Indians in particular, they give back and they donate. They don't come out and they won't tell the people. But when they're having functions and whatever, and you go to them. And I'm saying, a lot of the political groups go to these people. And some of the people that go to them and they take the things and for themselves, they don't give it out to the people. They take these things for themselves. We are too mean and selfish in our country, and then we want to come back and show off on our own neighbors, our own dark-skinned neighbors. And then we wonder why, if you don't look sharp, we're not even second class. We're becoming third class in our country. Our natives don't matter because everything is going away for foreign investors. But how about investing in locals who have proved themselves? How about going out and looking for the people who have always been maintaining St. Kitts and Nevis? Like I said, the people on the street, you see them all up in Birdwalk, you see them in Frigate Bay, you see them all on the sides through the country. And you mean to tell me they only go to drink rum? They only go to just go out and cut grass? And we don't honor these people at no time? And sometimes these people come from nowhere just because we vote them in to become political leaders and our leaders in this country. And we don't even see these people back in the communities doing the community jobs. Some people can't even find them, even to have a conversation with them. So we are cutting off our people, right? And the knowledge of our people need to be told. Our young generation, how many of them know who is Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw? Should Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, the late Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, should only be known by the Labour people and the Labour picnic, as they say, or should they be known for the entire federation? We need to push more of it, and if it's in the school, we need to basically, we need to really start showing our children who are the real leaders in our country. And it's not just political leaders, because some of these political leaders are not good for our country. They're very unfit, and they don't really care for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. A lot of them do not take the oath and honor the oath as country above selves. And this is how I am going to end it tonight on the Real Talk with Lavi. It was a pleasure being here. There's only so much we can have as a conversation, but I think the shorter it is better it is. And I will be continue hitting the streets. And when persons, if you want to basically get your views out, come on the video with Lavi. I am not going to come here and come and say that somebody say. Real Talk is not about that. We don't do the mediator. We don't do the emails and read what people say. We want you to come and say what you have to say to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, Real Talk is a program that is non-political. And I'm going to say this. Anytime Lavi Gumbs is political, victimizing my country, I will be hitting the street. I will not be in my country and be political, victimized just for having a voice, and for having a voice even before some of these people come into government. I've been having a voice for years and for decades because I have a big heart and I love my people and I want to see my country do great, and I want to see my people really elevate. Elevate, not just elevate taking the mediocre jobs. I want to see my people elevate because they work their way from the top to the bottom. It's time our political leaders, our political figures, when you get in this position, put people that have the experience and deserve these positions. Put people that know the people. Put people who are friendly and relatable to the people. The people shouldn't have to be coming to Lavi Gumbs. The people shouldn't have to say, Lavi Gumbs, you should go run. Lavi Gumbs, I need you to go and run. This is how desperate our people have come. Because persons that have all the degrees, they are failing and destroying the goodness of our forefathers, what they have paved and made the way for many of us. This is Lavi Gumbs, and I'm just going to say, have a wonderful night. Next week, Wednesday night, same place, same time, tune in, tell a friend, tell them all. Real Talk is the station, is the program to listen to. We bring it real, we bring it straight, and we ain't forgetting the indigenous people. Once again, this is Lavi Gumbs of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night.
And
Let's Get Real on WinFM. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers all. Let's Get Real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitamark bottles equal